Welcome to the Bend Like Bamboo Resilience Podcast, where we discover how life's greatest challenges can become our greatest strengths. I'm your host, Amanda Campbell, kinesiologist, MS specialist, resilience coach, and author. Get ready to be inspired by these remarkable humans who share their raw, real stories of transformation, the breakthrough moments, the lessons learned in the trenches, and the practical wisdom that turned their greatest challenges into their greatest strengths. These conversations offer hope, tools, and proof that resilience isn't just possible, it's your birthright. Together, let's discover how flexibility can become your superpower, turning life's storms into stepping stones towards the person you're meant to become. Let's dive straight into our next conversation.
Welcome, everybody, to the Identity of Health podcast. I am so excited today to have Amanda Campbell with us. Amanda Campbell, not only is she a friend, she is an amazing beacon of light and love on her own healing journey. And we're going to learn a little bit about her journey today. But what I really want to point out, too, is that she is the author of Bend Like Bamboo. She wrote this book after her journey of overcoming the symptoms of multiple sclerosis. Yes, you know all the doctors that tell us it's impossible, it's incurable, this is just the way it is, get ready for being in a wheelchair, all of those things on the side. Amanda said no. Amanda said, no, I don't believe that. Even though there was a point that she was completely paralyzed on the left side. Her face had dropped. Her arm couldn't move. She couldn't walk. She was in a wheelchair. She was in a rehab facility. And really, everybody was telling her, I'm sorry, honey, you're done. That's it. But there was a spark within her. And this is what we're going to hear today, is that spark that fired, that spark that created a fire within her. To today, she runs. She's the CEO of an amazing company. She has lived in her power, and you're going to get to hear this today. So, Amanda, thank you so much for being on this beautiful podcast with us. Show us, lead us, guide us down this beautiful journey. So, Amanda, what was the moment for you where you kind of had that hell no moment?
Oh, Matt, that pivotal moment was when I hit rock bottom, and I was in a rehabilitation center where I ended up living for a couple of months, and then faced with never ever walking again and the possibility that the steroids just weren't working. And I realized that I had a choice. The beautiful physio was giving me exercises just to make my fingers to try and open and close again. And I had tears running down my face because it was just so hard. But it was in that moment I knew I had a choice. I could either give up and stick to my old ways of rigidity, of being stressed out, more in victim, and not believing in myself, not believing in possibility, further exacerbating the stress response, which leads to inflammation and more disease.
Yeah.
So there was a choice to choose something else. I didn't quite yet know what that was going to be all about, but I did understand that something had to change. But I still sat in my wheelchair behind big black sunglasses, contemplating my life, permanently disabled. It wasn't until I saw a little glimmer of hope that I then could find the courage to step up. And that was after my beautiful family and friends grabbed me, put me in my wheelchair across the road, went and had dinner together. And I felt normal just for a couple of hours, which led to a feeling of total joy, laughter, and relaxation. And what I know now, not as just the patient, but the practitioner, is that that created a shift in my biochemistry. Instead of being so focused on keeping me in survival, my brain and nervous system relaxed, felt joy, and we know that that then shifts into growth and repair pathways
Yes.
instead. And that night my toe moved for the first time.
Oh
And it
my
was in
God.
that, I know. And my twin sister had, gone to the bathroom. She was getting me ready into my pajamas, and I screamed out, and the nurse came in as well. I was like, my toe moved, my toe moved. But then I
Yeah.
found hope, and I was able to channel my energy differently. I was
Yeah.
able to then focus on what I wanted instead of what I didn't want, which was to get my body and life back. And when we're stressed, we tend to focus on what we don't want, worst case scenarios, we overthink, we get stuck in our heads and our intellect, which is when we're not centered and connected to our intuition, where we know better. We know we can
Right.
believe in ourselves and we can shift things in our state.
Yeah. Okay, so I gotta call something out though. That in that moment, did your body say bullshit? Did you like in the mind ever go, yeah, but you know what? It's just my toe. Yeah, it's just this, or man, this is my
Yes.
face is
At the
drooped. Like,
start, it was toing and froing for sure. It was like, oh my God, hang on. Oh my God, is it? Dit, 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 dit. But there was something inside of me, thank goodness, that wanted to get better more than
yeah,
to stay stuck and sick. That's
okay.
important too. Yeah.
Okay, but that's something within you, and as we know, and you know, all the education and research and studies that you have done, and then you know I've followed as well, is that we are all made of atoms.
Hmm.
And when you look at the atom, 99.999999999% of that atom is energy. So
Yeah.
in that moment, did you gravitate towards the energy and realize or become aware of when your energy was either feeding dis-ease or was feeding healing?
I think the scale of emotions that can, like our lower frequency emotions of anger, fear, shame, worry, pensiveness, when you can elevate to courage, which
Mhm.
is, I think, what happened in that moment, when
Yeah.
I saw evidence that it could happen, only then did I come out of my shell, had the courage to put myself out there and try harder. And so I took that moment as hope. And then when you elevate your energy, you have access to more elevated emotions of love, joy, compassion, forgiveness, resilience, which are really important. It's an important shift that leads to different thoughts and more flexibility and adaptability in your nervous system and your body to relax, open your heart, and see things differently. And that shifts how what you're believing about yourself and then what can be possible for you.
Okay. This is okay. So then, I got so many questions. This is so amazing. So really, when you're looking at that from that basis, that hope that started to spark,
Mm.
then did you notice when you were watering? Like, I like to imagine this as like you've planted a seed or you've planted a bamboo plant, but that bamboo plant doesn't grow 10 feet in the first year. It may take 4 years before it
Mm.
grows 10 feet. I know that the stat goes like with bamboo, it grows, doesn't grow at all, and then all of a sudden it grows feet per
Yes.
month.
Yes. Baby
So
steps continuously progress to something quite powerful and beautiful.
even if you don't see it.
Yeah. And often you don't.
Okay, so what helped you when you didn't see it?
So in rehab, I had to channel my stubbornness in a new way that was more positive, that served me. So in the past, I would be a perfectionist, or I would overwork, I would disconnect from my body and not listen to what it really needed, which was sometimes to slow down and
Mhm.
just to embody being able to sit within myself in the difficult emotions that we all go through, especially when we're teenagers growing up, and
Yeah,
some of us have dysfunctional families, and we learn to disconnect from our emotions because they're difficult, and it's easier to be disconnected, disassociated. But the problem is when you block difficult emotions, you also block joy. And when you block joy, an internal repressed emotions, an internal battle happens, which leads to those thoughts where you stop believing in yourself and possibility, and then that clashes with your goals. And when your goals don't align with what you're really believing, there's a constant stress going on. And this is what I address in clinic. And the parakinesiology can really help to get into the subconscious brain. Using your energy, we can rewire the circuits, and your muscles and your organs and all connected to the nervous system. And that's how, on a multi-layered approach, we can change things structurally, biochemically, emotionally, and energetically and spiritually, just simply holding some points and moving energy, because your energy is connected like a tensegrity structure to your fascia, to your tendons and ligaments and muscles and your emotions and your hormones and your digestive systems and all the processes and your amygdala and your hippocampus. So knowing and understanding your energy and your state, it's connected to all of those things. And it's easier to and more malleable to shift energy than it is to sometimes palpate a muscle or to change a hormone. So work on your energy, because you can.
Okay, because if energy is that over 99% of us are all made of energy and only 0.0001% of matter, you're basically pointing to that moving that energy is easier than trying to move the matter.
Yeah, as a practitioner, I use the chi flow and understanding of how the chi flows in the body to identify blockages, which can be from structural or physical injuries, hormone imbalances, nutritional deficiencies, simply an emotion that's stuck, like shame or
Yeah.
anger or grief. My dad died a couple of weeks ago, and I know that I've got some grief that I'm working through,
Mhm.
and allowing my body to naturally process that and to believe that I'm safe even when I'm feeling sad is
Yeah.
my ability to remain anchored and centered. And that's how we bend, in direct proportion to the wind when the storm
Yeah.
comes, and how we remain regulated and how we can make better choices for ourselves. But most importantly, how we can fire growth and repair pathways instead of survival and stress. But when we're really sick and we've been really unwell and perhaps even disabled for long periods of time, we're more stuck in another state. And it takes time to get that ball rolling. But
Yeah.
there will be moments that will come that are opportunities that seem like drastic change or something's going wrong, but no, if you can be more connected to your higher self and that inner wisdom, they're
Yeah.
actually an opportunity to level up and to choose something different.
You used a word in there, allow. So do you
Mm.
think, and I love this philosophy of bending like bamboo, because do you think, like I can just think about it on the design, the tree doesn't fight back the wind. The
No,
tree
it bends
doesn't
in
fight.
direct
Yeah.
proportion. Yeah.
It bends. It flows with it. And so with that moment, you're talking about healing. Your healing in yourself was your ability to flow through the various moments that come, just like you're doing now. And I'm so sorry to hear about your dad,
Thank you.
but flowing through the grievance process, flowing through grief in this moment, allowing the tears to flow if they want to flow
Yeah.
in that moment, allowing any other emotion to move through you in that moment, being flexible back and
Yeah,
forth.
because our nervous systems are typically, in rigidity from trauma and stress and, difficulty. And so, in the past, yeah, it's that when I was younger, I was very, very closed over in protection. So my heart was shut down.
Yes.
And it became very normal to feel anxious and stressed every morning throughout the day, and therefore living very disconnected. And that allowed me to push harder and work harder. And I thought external was the answer. But it was only when I hit rock bottom and I was in hospital, four white walls, alone, had to go within. And yeah, I felt something greater than me connecting with me, helping me through that. And I love connecting with that energy now every single day. On good days and difficult days, it's always there for me. And I just didn't realize that before. And I wish I did, because there's always support and something greater than ourselves that's there. And there are things that we can do daily that help us to elevate our state and energy to connect with that. And that's very healing.
Absolutely is. So how much do you think we get trapped in the old past emotions? Like those old, like especially once we get diagnosed, we continue to
Yeah.
see the same. So whether it's cancer, rheumatoid arthritis, or whether it's multiple sclerosis, we see the same symptoms over and over. It's kind of like I joke that it's like the Groundhog Day. It's like, all right, here it comes again.
Yeah.
Now, being stuck in that energy, being like a washing machine, just washing us around over and over and over and over again, is it at that moment that it comes down to a choice? Either to put
Yeah.
it in the
Because I
washing
remember
machine, yeah,
like when I was younger and after when I was diagnosed, I was already not believing in myself. I didn't think I was enough. I didn't, you know, really believe in possibility for myself. And when I was diagnosed, it was like, yeah, see, another point of evidence that I'm not going to be able to achieve my goals. I'm not enough on a whole new level. And that's how I perceived it initially, which then led to me disconnecting more internally, pushing myself externally, working harder, going out later and not looking after
yeah,
myself. That then led to more degeneration, inflammation, and total paralysis. And it was only when I um, had the ability to reassess and reimagine um, what, when my toe moved and then I found hope and I knew I had to approach things differently.
yeah,
And the experience of overcoming that allowed me to believe in myself again because achieved something that really I wasn't supposed to, like that rapid recovery when doctors said you probably won't walk again. And then a shift within me. And then, like I said, amazing physios, a neurophysiotherapist, a kinesiologist, both working on me, and that attitude shift within me, and also experiencing joy with my friends and family, which, further pushed my pathways into growth and repair instead of survival and stress. And just, right place at the right time, everything sort of working together in perfect harmony. I walked and then ran and then recovered. And this is my 15th year of total remission since then.
oh my God, this is amazing. So I got to ask you, I want to go back a little bit farther. So do you think MS came in to get your attention to find your true authentic self of why you're here?
100%. 100%.
Okay.
Yeah, it was my biggest teacher, still is. I'm in a maintenance program, and whilst I don't have new lesions and I'm in total remission, it still forces me to continually look after myself, and to remain, as healthy as possible so that that remains well into my 90s.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely. Well, you'll be doing
yeah.
summits with me until you're, 90 years old, and
Yeah, I'll have
us two
sequin
old
tops,
people.
thick glasses. This is what I've got to talk about.
Oh my God. So I have to ask the question, has MS become a gift?
Oh, yes. And that's what I help my clients with as well, to see it that way, that look what it's helped you. It's forced you to stop. It's forced you to go within and to discover what you're really made of. And maybe that is what shifts those beliefs of I don't, I'm not lovable, I'm not enough. It was only when I achieved all of that, simply walking again that simply walking again? What? No. So walking again.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, made me go, oh, okay. Well, if I can do that, what can I do with my career? What can I do with my life? What can I do within my relationships? And then I rebuilt my life to create my dream life only after that happened.
Oh my God. So yeah, it would be absolutely a gift, realizing how powerful you really are.
That we all really are. Yes.
I'm glad that you phrased it that way, that we all are. So anybody listening to this podcast, any limitations you may feel right now are not you, are not true in that
No, they're an
moment.
illusion. They're an illusion. And, it's a jail that we need to break out of. And I know that there's that people out there that are, very ill and things don't seem to be working right now. And all we're doing is we're discussing how to give yourself the best environment to elevate your state so that you can accept what is, first of all, right now, because that's the first step, is just accept not wanting things to be different. And I always wanted things to be different when I was younger, which led to more stress and symptoms.
Mhm.
But when we can totally accept what is right now, we can only from there create a new reality. that's more flexible and, hopefully a healing.
Well, you talked about something powerful with acceptance. So do you think we push with the like desire, like, oh, I want to walk again, or I want to run again, or I want this, or I no longer want this? And what's tough is, and you brought it out really, poignant in this point, is that when we go through these moments, and we're not saying they're not happening, we're not saying these don't exist, but what I'm hearing from you, Amanda, is that first step of hope, which just
Yep.
accept what's going on right now.
First
Yeah,
step
it
of hope,
sucks.
and then shifting deep inside of yourself what you're really believing about yourself,
All right.
and then capturing what that story is and questioning it with flexibility. And if you need to, put it in the bin and create a new one that's more aligned with you achieving your goals and you healing.
With who you really are.
Yeah.
So, do you think that, I mean, I get thinking about this after doing this podcast for years, is, it frustrates me that autoimmune conditions are at epidemic levels. Over 400 people a day just with multiple sclerosis are being diagnosed with it.
400 people a day, is it now? Wow.
It's
I'm writing that down.
crazy worldwide.
Yeah.
So is this us waking up to who we really are, the foods we eat, the stress that we have, the not enough feeling in this moment? It's that wake up moment, the gift you saw in your diagnosis. Is this our moment of evolution as a
Yeah,
species?
it's us, shifting our consciousness and a sign that, there's, you know, when we're stuck, that's the whole point though, not even not wanting that to happen, to be stuck and to be on that journey of awakening. And we're all unique on our journey of when we're ready to do that, and not even judging that bit either. Just with total love and compassion whenever you're ready to do that inner work and to reimagine your story and to
Yeah.
shift your inner beliefs. Know that that's the most powerful way of shifting your biochemistry and your opportunity to choose healing instead of illness.
Well, and what you talked about there is not just accepting the symptoms or whatever you might be going through, it's accepting everything.
Yeah. And everything, all your choices in the past, um, all of your thoughts, but just learning how to identify the story that you're telling yourself and that inner chatter. And, this is also how we manifest for ourselves, is our ability to, understand how the brain works when we're in that pensiveness and overthinking chatter. It is also often when we're shut down in our hearts, because then our nervous system and brain goes, oh, I'm not okay. I need to think through how I'm okay. Michael Singer talks a lot about that. I learned so much from him about his understanding of the heart being shut down. And there's
Yeah.
so much electricity in the heart electromagnetically, even in comparison to the brain. It really is a heart conversation of relaxing, be more flexible, open up. But, that doesn't really match. Nothing works out for me. Everybody's against me. That doesn't align with that. So when you're ready to let that go and you elevate to, that higher perspective where you can see all the streets, you can connect all the dots, you connect to your higher self and you get the cosmic joke, you can see things with fresh eyes and you can change all of that.
Yeah, but you're talking about what Michael Singer's work is surrendering to it.
Yeah.
In the
Oh,
moment when
his
it
work.
comes and just be like, well, it's here for a reason.
Yeah, yeah, and to constantly be in that that perspective, because you don't really know what's behind those events that usually you'd be like, "Oh, I wish this wasn't happening." Yeah, well, life has a very clever way of bringing in some very special things that you don't quite understand yet what they're about.
Mhm. So that's the journey. The journey
Mm,
of healing is uncovering those pieces, discovering what it is, seeing the cosmic joke of like all these things and just find joy within your life.
yeah, we need to be flexible to do that.
Yeah. Because if we stay rigid in all of it, then when those moments come, we're not going to flex to it. We're going to fight against it. We're going to say, oh my God, I don't like this wind. I don't
There'll be
like this.
options every day that will come in, that will, that can lift you out of that. Exactly. If you're rigid, you will not see those opportunities as miracles
So you're telling me that miracles are around us all the time
all the time.
if we're open to seeing them.
We want to be relaxed and flexible so that we can.
Oh my gosh, Amanda, this is your story is so amazing. I love the journey that you have been on, but this is not just a journey of healing. This is a spiritual awakening
Yes, it is.
that you stepped into this moment.
Yeah, it really is. And it really is a shift in consciousness. I feel like I'm living a whole new life, reborn in a new dimension. And it just keeps getting better and better. If we spoke 5 years ago, I would be saying that, but little did I know what was about to come next.
Mhm.
As long as I keep choosing to be surrounded and to receive miracles, and that my body can continue to heal and now thrive, I'm excited to see what even I can do now in my late 40s. So
Yeah.
watch this space.
You've only just begun. Look out.
Yeah.
Um, so, what advice would you give anybody who's listening today?
Flexibility in your body impacts everything that matters. Your body's ability to repair, how happy and resilient you are, and how connected you feel. So choose flexibility every single day in your thinking, in how you're feeling, and how you show up and your reactions.
Amanda, what an amazing opportunity to speak with you today. This
Oh,
amazing opportunity to see your light and the love within your heart,
thank
who
you,
you
Matt.
really
And
are, is
thank you for
absolutely
your, I love the way that you interview. It's such a pleasure talking to you. You're so good at what you do. And
amazing.
yeah, to be a part of your summit again, it's a blessing.
Oh, I'm so excited for you to be a part of the fourth annual Symptom Free MS Summit. It is
Yeah,
such, you are such a beautiful beacon of light for so many individuals that might be going through struggles. So thank you.
my pleasure. Thank you. Thank you for joining us on the Bend Like Bamboo Resilience podcast. I hope today's conversation inspired you. And if this resonated with you, please rate, follow, and share it with someone who needs to hear this episode. If you would like to go deeper with me, whether you're leading through burnout, navigating health challenges, or rebuilding after setbacks, I'd be honored to support you. Head to benlikebamboo.com to explore our programs, check out my new book, or book a free discovery chat. Trust your ability to bend and flow with life. I'll catch you at the next episode.